you guys to another episode of Sister Circles, because sisters
have problems too.
That's right. That's good. That's a good hit. Welcome you guys to another episode of Sister Circles, because sisters
have problems too.
That's right. All sisters have problems here. Well, in this week's episode, I have another special guest of mine. She is known to be my twin of another mother.
And another father.
I used to tell her like, hey Lynn, do you want to go back home and ask your mom like whether she ever came to Thailand before? Well, give a round of applause to welcome Lynn.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming here as well and really talking about a really touchy topic. So this week's episode, we're going to be talking about how to move on. That is right. I mean, breakup experience. I have heard from a lot of people that it's like one in a lifetime experience. You just have to experience it. You know, it's like it's a breaking point. You will be able to grow up a lot from that experience itself.
Yeah, but you know, some people are really fortunate. Like their first and last relationship is the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so but some people might not even have the chance to experience it. But then it's such a fortunate and unfortunate thing.
Right? That's true.
Experience a breakup. It's such a big change in your life.
It is a big change, and like what Lynn said, is a rather fortunate and unfortunate experience, because not everyone is fortunate to be able to cope with the breakup experience very well.
That's true.
Sometimes it came down crutchings, you know, it's like they adopted a rather self-destructive or destructive to other people kind of approach, right? And a lot of people, you know, we went for, you know, hashtag self-love,
self-care all the way.
Yeah, that's right. So we totally become a rather a better person from that kind of experience.
Really grow from that.
Breakup has become a rather bonding experience for a lot of people. It's like you're going for it's like you went through the kind of suffering together. So you're like, you broke up before?
You broke up before?
Let me tell you about it. Tell me about yours. You know,
welcome.
Just like, welcome to Sister Circles. Welcome to the
Heartbroken Club. That's right.
That's right. But anyways, this week we're going to be talking about different steps that we can take to be able to move on. What disclaimer, we are not an expert in this.
No, definitely.
With 22 years of our life, not to say that we are an expert, and it's rather like more like just sisters sitting down and talking about sharing our points, you know, discussing about ways that we can cope with our life experience a little better.
Just trying to help each other out, you know, help a sister out there, maybe like going through this and like needing someone to
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
I mean, a lot of people would think that it's such a unique experience. I have never felt this great pain in my life before, and I must be the only one feeling it. Well, you're not alone. You're not alone. But okay, before that, let me just ask Lynn a question. Lynn, are you... Sounds like an interrogation, right? I mean, I just want to ask, like, are you aware of your own coping mechanism when it comes to this kind of, like, heartbreaking experience?
Yes. So
she was giving me that like duh.
But then at the same time, I fall more into like, you know, the self-destructive group of people that you mentioned before.
Okay. So you're the first category. Okay, tell me about it.
Right. So immediately after the experience, right, maybe I think the first thing that I would seek to do is just completely block off all the memories that include the other person.
Okay.
Right? And sometimes it's quite painful, because if this is someone significant in your life, right, especially for that period of time, there's such a big part of you. Yeah. Like such a big part of your life revolve around them. So just completely trying to remove that out of your memory is just painful. And I think I lose myself a lot
along
after
the way.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I it's totally understandable, because a lot of people, they would either block off or it is actually known as denial. A lot of people would actually deny that it ever happened, or just I don't feel anything. Like you know, I'm totally fine. Like, I don't feel anything, because you don't allow yourself to feel anything. Right. You just block the entire experience of you experiencing the pain, and that nicely link to the first step that you will need to take to be able to move on, which is to allow yourself to
feel.
That's right. To allow yourself to feel the entire experience itself. I mean, I have known a friend who kind of broke up with his girlfriend for 2 years already, and he have just allowed himself to feel the pain, and he felt like it just happened yesterday. I was like, of course, right? And of course you feel the pain, like it just happened yesterday.
Relieve it.
Exactly, because you have just allow yourself to live that experience.
There's no way around it. Really,
there's
there's
really
no way you can escape.
There's really no way around it. So that's the reason why the first step is just to allow yourself to
just like give yourself as much time as you can, then just I guess feel, like really sit through that and like experience, even if it's like very painful, definitely. But it's like ripping off the bandage. Right,
that's true. All right, so what's the next step that we have here then that we can take to move on?
I think we're talking about cutting off the contact with the person.
Cutting off the contact.
Right. So just completely stop reaching out, stop asking your friends like how they're doing. Stop trying to like, be around that person and be updated with their lives. Right?
Trying to really remove yourself from that allow yourself to feel the void a little. I know that in some cases, right, it's very difficult to leave the partner that you just broke off alone because of how concerning they might be, but at the same time you just need that space for yourself, and you need to give them that space as well. I know it can be difficult, but it's necessary. It really is necessary.
Doesn't sound a little bit contradicting to you
in terms of cutting off, right?
Yeah, like you feel all of that, but at the same time you're trying to cut off certain things.
It's actually different because you're actually cutting them off doesn't mean that you are cutting the feeling. You're actually preventing yourself from feeling anything further. So that would link nicely to the next point, but I just want to talk about this experience of mine a little of what happened, because I think I have known quite a number of friends who experienced the same thing as well. So when we broke up, right, we had the tendency of giving ourselves reasons to not let the partner go. So mine was to just keep him as my friend. I just was telling myself that he's my best friend, you know, it's very hard to let him go. I'll just keep him around, but we're just friends. But it's just difficult, it's almost impossible for you to be able to grow out from that experience from not letting go.
I know it's tempting, and the thing is, right, like people can still be friends after a breakup, but the initial period you really need to give yourself that space, that
to
time
to grow.
To heal and to grow out of that. If not, I think you're just gonna be stuck in that cycle of fantasizing and like wishing that things will go back to where it was before.
That's
right?
true. That's true. And I mean it's really a lot about that, right? I mean, let's just say that you really want to have a friend. Like, would friend really do this kind of thing? Are you sure? Are you just trying to give him or her a position so he can just remain in your life?
Right.
So it sounds more like an excuse to me back then. But I would totally understand if you really feel like he's my friend, she's my friend. Go ahead if you feel like that's gonna help you. But I mean, it works with different people, right? But to me, I just knew that his identity, there was two identity: him as a boyfriend and him as a friend. And I know that throughout the 8 years of our life together that we spent together, that in that relationship, right, he was more of like a boyfriend to me than a best friend.
Right? So it's very hard to separate, right? Especially when like that role of her of a boyfriend in him is so big.
That's right. And like what I say, the second point, cutting off the contact, nicely links to the next point, which is to
basically getting rid of things that will remind you of the past.
That's right.
Right. So basically that includes not going to the places that you guys used to go to as a couple, and memories, pictures
doing things together. You used to, like those kind. Have you ever done that before though?
Maybe.
I mean, breakup is all about that trial and error.
Oh my god, actually fun fact, right? I work in a place that we used to go to together. Ouch, I know.
Ouch. That's like a everyday reminder.
Yes, but luckily after a while, you get carried away and you get scolded by your bosses and stuff, and you have new experience to replace that.
I guess that can be another strategy that we can try. Like it can be another straight. Just go to the same place and create a new memories. I mean, to be fair, you can't just go to that place with a friend.
Yeah.
Right. So without the intention of trying to replace it means that you're actively thinking about the memory, but rather creating new memories.
Yeah.
Creating new memories. So it's about eliminating things that would remind you of the past. The reason why we do that is because you just need to stop yourself from thinking about what happened in the past, because good memories come the inevitable desire, right, to kind of recreate or really going back to the time, even though you don't have that desire to go back or recreate anymore, but it doesn't do you any good. You know, there is the idea of like missing of someone of the past, of those memories, although it feels a little mellow and kind of like you just need to feel sad. Okay, I get it, but like eventually you just need to really move on from that experience. So by eliminating would help you a lot. To be fair, what happened a few days was I have something to admit. After 2 years of breakup, I have just decided to delete like 7,000 photos.
7,000.
I mean, we dated 6 years, so 7,000. That was like me flexing, but no. But like, okay, 6 years of relationship, but like, I decided to delete all the photos because I felt like there were times that I look back at the photos, and I just feel like that doesn't do me any good at all, and like I just want to live with the limitations of the brain. Yeah. Because you know, our brain, right? Like we can't even remember what happened yesterday.
Oh my god, outside of mind. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Outside of mind. So without having that in mind, all you have is just remembering the feelings and like bits of events. But with photos, right? It's like, or videos, that's worse. It's like you really relived that entire experience. Yeah. So good and bad. So yeah. Next point.
Okay, so but now that you get rid of everything that reminds you of them, right? Now you have this big void in your life because before that probably your whole world revolved around this person, or like a big part of your world. So what do you do with that void? You fill it with a healthy support system.
That is right.
Yes.
Very important. Very important, because like what Lynn say, in relationship we might channel a lot of love and energy to this one person, and we just get used to. So once that the person leave your life, you just feel that void and you feel like my love is unworthy anymore. So it's a good time for you to channel that love to the right group of people. We emphasize the word healthy, by the way.
Yes.
Healthy support system.
Because if not, if you find yourself with friends who might channel like hate or
toxic.
That's right. Toxic is the word.
Toxic people. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You might just be trapped in a cycle of craving that feeling, craving that toxicity, and like it's just not gonna do anything good for you. Yeah.
Well, how I don't know. It depends on how you define the word healthy. But to me, it's like not those group of friends that will say, "Hey, or she's shitty." No, not projecting, but it's more of like really just like focusing on healing you and being there to support you.
Like just really being there when you need them. Yeah. And like provide the care and the love that you really need in that particular period of time. Yeah.
And like what I say, because of that void, right, you feel like your love is unworthy. But by channeling the love to the right people, the right group of people, your love is going to be reciprocated. Yeah. Then you will feel like you are loved again. Yeah. So try that out. Yeah. And that's for the fourth step that we can take. What about the fifth one?
Okay, so we have talked about, making yourself feel surrounded by love and care again. But you can't rely on external validation for forever. Yeah. So that void, you should work towards filling that with your self-love.
Yeah, that's right. So by self-love means you just really exploring and finding yourself again. Because at times when you are in a long, it doesn't have to be long relationship either, but like when you invested so much in relationship, right, your identity kind of merged into one with the other person, and now that you break out, you feel like you have lost such a huge part of yourself. So it's a good time for you to find yourself again.
Definitely. So do things that you normally wouldn't do with your partner, whether it's because some limitations in your relationship or just things that you didn't have the time or the energy to when you were with that person. Just really, explore new things as well. Yeah, definitely.
And I have known a lot of people who have took the idea of exploring yourself in a wrong way.
Oh, what kind of wrong way?
In a wrong way in terms of they became overly reliant on certain habit or behavior. For example, having hookups.
Right.
Nothing is wrong with that if you are going for the intention of exploring your sexuality, and instead of just like in a short run, I think it makes sense. You just need to have that pleasure, right? To be able to cope with that heartbreak on daily basis. But if in the long run,
if you realize that as like a constant distraction to, you know, like not let yourself feel, or like not let yourself actually sit down and like heal, then I think that would be a problem.
Yeah, and that's the same things for like getting intoxicated or go for gambling or those kind of stuff. So just be aware of yourself. Like, you know, is it like a long term, short term kind of thing? So we would encourage for a rather more healthy, I guess, in a sense. Not to say that hookup is not healthy. Yeah, but like, you know, certain a rather more really like really helping you for in terms of self-development or exploring like something that you love or you like. Like did you do any of that?
I really tried to basically because before that, then I guess I was very self-conscious and didn't really dare to do like a lot of things for fear that the other person would judge me. So afterwards I really got the chance to, I guess, just simple things like dressing up in ways that I wouldn't have before, and just really want to feel good or experiment with fashion, experiment with like the way I express myself, and just go out and take myself on a date.
Wow, that's so empowering though. I mean, it's really empowering tool. Right? It's like, you know, trying to feel comfortable in your own skin again.
Because at the end of the day, I think what you want to do is basically realize that you are good enough on your own. You are good enough and you are deserving of love, but from yourself as well. And
I kind of did the same thing as well, because I the thing that I felt like I did as a way to #selflove was I really just went out and tried all new things. You know, I went for like yoga classes, joining all the activities that I wanted to, hosting competition. That's where we met. Where we met. And I went for like a solo trip as well, because it's really, like what I say, is really about like finding yourself again. And I was someone who really loved to do solo trip, like traveling all by myself, and I feel like I really was with me. And I did that again. I went to Switzerland, and that's a whole new journey that I have never experienced before, and I really found myself again through that snowy city. It was a really lovely journey.
It's great to, in a sense, take yourself on that journey. Have all that time and that space for yourself to explore everything, right? I think the new environment helps too. Yeah, definitely.
That's true. So that is the 5th step. And the next step that we would love to suggest you guys doing, and is something that I did myself as well, and it worked so well for me, was journaling. Journaling, writing down, like what I say, human limitations is the limitation of the brain, right? So when we break up, we have the tendency of reminding of the past good memories, and we will start missing the person and all that, and then that the journaling comes in. You are supposed to writing down things that happen, good things and bad things. It's good for you to remind yourself of the reason why you broke up in the first place. There are reasons why you broke up, so never forget those reasons.
At the same time,
never forget those reasons.
Right. Even if you guys didn't end up on like a bad terms or kind of thing, I think it's still good to just release all of those feelings, all of the emotions, right? After you let yourself feel, you release all of them on that piece of paper, and then once you close that journal,
it's like a closure.
It's
to
like
the
a
entire
closure.
story, though it might be a daily closure. You just have to keep writing every day, because I mean, to be fair, it's really about daily coping. Like, you know, because I mean, psychologically proven, breakup or experiencing heartbreak is like you're experiencing a leg break. It's like you just broke your leg. It just like someone really ride a car over you, and that kind of pain, it shows on your brain. So it totally makes sense for our body to take days to recover or months or year, then it's same for your heart. It takes time to be able to really recover from the entire experience. So really allow yourself to feel and cope it on daily basis. Journaling is like a medicine.
Yeah.
You know, that you can try to use. And I have my very dear brother, Jeremiah. I gotta mention his name though. Jeremiah. He once told me that one day, with all this pain that you experience right now, one day you will wake up not feeling it anymore without you realizing.
Right.
And it's true.
So you just realize that, you know, you have finally moved on.
Yeah, it's a rather like moment that I didn't really like. I didn't. You know, you just like woke up and do your things and all that, and then probably days or months after that, then once you woke up and you got reminded of that, oh yeah, I didn't feel that pain anymore today. Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's just gone.
Suddenly the weight is just lifted off of your chest.
Yeah. So I really just want you to, I know this entire pain would feel like it would never get away. You feel like you would never be able to love someone ever again. It's the kind of feeling that you would feel. You feel like, this is so unbearable. I don't want to do this anymore and this and that. But trust me, with all the little experience that we have, it will be fine one day.
It will get better.
It will get better one day. So I believe that today's we have covered quite a few points, and I really hope that you will be able to, like, you know, probably try to learn something out of this together.
Yeah, just like some takeaways.
Some takeaways for all of us here that we're just sharing among ourselves, like some, not even tips, I don't know. Just like certain steps that we have tried ourselves as well, and it kind of works, so we just want to share. So if you guys have any personal experiences related to this entire move on experience, you can comment below, and we will be very happy to read all of them as well. So that's all we have for this week. Welcome to Sister Circle. Thank you very much for being here, because sisters
have problems too.
I will see you next week. Bye guys.